guys, it's Mary.
And Emma.
Remember to like,
Share,
subscribe,
and comment
down below, y'all. Today we are going to be talking about 1,000 Pound Sisters, you all. I think the new season just started, so we're going to put together episode 1 and episode 2 for this one. Last season, I think we saw Tammy basically, I guess there she was passing out. We didn't know what was going on.
Yes.
Fast forward to this season, it seems as if she has
a trach,
which is quite interesting.
Because she could not breathe and she had a blockage, and so they need to have like a fast path to her lungs moving forward, because you can just suffocate off of your own phlegm and other blockages, inflammation that's going on there. So she has a tracheostomy, a trach, and that goes straight to her lungs. And it's so interesting because when she takes the cap off, she's unable to talk, and she's actually able to move it quite a bit. I know when you see it, you're like, oh my god, but she's able to move it and she's able to suction it herself. So
the whole thing
that was really, when you just think about it, like having so much weight, it can lead to so many other
health issues,
morbidities.
For sure.
The
whole thing was kind of
scary.
A little disturbing, because the last time I saw a trach, I think it was on those smoking commercials where they have there's that person with the thing and talking with it. I think it's so weird that you have like this plastic object in your throat because you can't breathe. It's just very interesting.
So I was going through your mouth. To see what's going on, you just go right to the source and kind of try to remove all that blockage there, and then your lungs are right here.
Very sad that she had to go through that, but I think just the decision she was making really kind of led to this, because apparently she has cheated death a couple of times, a few times.
And I think this is the first time though that she's had a trach. But she has had to kind of like gone out, have to kind of be resuscitated, I guess, again. Because they said it's happened like 3 or 4 times. So that was very surprising, because we've watched it on and off for a while, but we've never seen where that has happened, where, as they say, she's cheated death. And she went all the way to, it seems as though she seemed more motivated in rehab. I really wish she stays in rehab. She's getting up, she's walking further. The nurse says she's inspiring other people. And she has gone from, I think she was all the way up to almost 700 pounds. And she's down to 573. 573, but then we saw all of a sudden she gained 10 pounds. So I was just like, once she started talking about, I want to be home, I really need to be home. I'm happy, what's her name? The older sister, Amanda. Just kind of nip that in the bud. No, you are not coming home. And Amy's like, if she comes home, I am washing my hands off of her.
Because my thing is with Tammy, yes, she want to come home, but the thing is, one, I feel like Tammy, they have been through this whole rigmarole with you several different times, and I'm sure one is quite annoying for them. Yes, it is your journey, but you really are, when you go home, you're depending on a lot of people who really don't have time for you. And the thing is,
their jobs, their lives, their
and husbands. I remember her having like a serious attitude when she was there. So it's like, it's bad enough that we have to take care of you, but now it's like you have this nasty attitude. You know what I'm saying? It's different if you were positive and you were nice and everything, but now it's like, it looks like she's gotten better. But if she's going, I don't think she should go home, because I feel like it's not fair to them, because it's a lot of work. And then
habits again.
Exactly, they're still there eating and stuff like that. Amy, pregnant again, still eating not well, and all that stuff. And I just think they actually all are not currently on the best path with their eating. And then you're going to go there, you're going to be eating, you're going to be at all the dinners and all that stuff, She
asked her brother to bring her some barbecue.
Exactly.
Which he did. Okay, you had that one time, but you're going to be more motivated being in the rehab, being around people like Lily, who's been there for 7 years.
It's going to make you want to get the hell out of there.
To say, something, I really got to stay on this program. But you know what I'm thinking? Tammy has some, and I remember I just have to talk loud because this fan is on. Tammy has some
deep issues,
emotional stuff, psych stuff that's going on.
Right.
Because when the doctor asks her, and I don't like the counselor seems to have an attitude with me. And maybe
don't like her.
And maybe she's tired of Tammy, too. Maybe she's just tired, but damn, this is your job. But she asks her, what is it that you get out of the drinking and the drugs? Like,
Which that made no sense to me.
Well, I think she's trying to figure out what is the feeling that you get. But my thing is, I think you have to go a little further back. How did you get onto this drugs, alcohol?
Yeah.
What are some of the things that you have gone through that you like in your life that have caused you some kind of trauma?
Right.
Because there's always some kind of trauma that you've had to deal with, that you go to these things, whether it's sex, whether it's drug, whether it's food, whether it's alcohol, it's always something that occurred that brought you onto that path.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I just feel like, I don't know, the doctor seems as though she really don't want to be there. Tammy doesn't want to talk about it. Like, she asked one question, and then she asked the same, when it's times I don't want to talk about it, she asked the same question but in a different way. Which I just felt like was a little lazy on the counselors, on the psychiatrist part.
Yeah.
But Tammy has to be willing. Something is stopping her from talking about it. I don't know if she doesn't want to embarrass her parents or her family.
Yeah.
Or maybe she doesn't want to bring it up. But I also have a feeling that everyone knows what it is. Probably.
I mean, is that how?
Or maybe it's something that no one knows.
Yeah.
And she does not want to say.
Yeah.
But until you really address those issues, I don't know if you're going to have the results that you're looking for long term.
Yeah, because I feel like whenever you gain weight, which, I mean, I can speak from my own experience, like with the whole thing, like during COVID, I gained a whole bunch of weight.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was very used to being slim thick in college and everything and stuff like that. I walked all the time. I think during COVID and then me getting out of school, I had gained like so much weight just because when I was depressed, too, my business now wasn't doing how I wanted to do. Because I'm like, I needed to work right now. It was taking a longer amount of time for it to get percolating.
Still.
Yeah, and then it's like I wasn't able to go and enjoy my last year of college and everything. So it's kind of like, really, the reason why you gain weight, really, most of the time, like 99% of the time, is because you have stuff going on with you internally. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like she has to really dig deep and figure out what is her issue. I'm sure the fact that she has gained so much weight in her life and she almost got to the point of almost 1,000 pounds is something really heavily weighing on you.
I know, because she was almost at the point of being 1,000-pound Tammy, not even 1,000-pound sisters.
No,
but 1,000-pound Tammy.
I know, all by herself. So I'm just like, at some point, really she has to be able to address it. Maybe she needs a new counselor. Maybe she needs to figure out what it is that's plaguing her. But I don't think she's going to get there with that counselor, because I don't think that counselor actually really can stand her. And I mean, I think that was the same counselor who was there from the beginning.
Yeah, she just cut her hair down, I think.
Yeah.
She had really black hair, yeah.
But yeah, I don't think she actually likes her or is even sympathizes with her.
Wasn't that the one who came into the room and was telling Tammy to move her wheelchair from the door so the door can close? And even when she moved it, it was like the door still couldn't close. Like the woman had to literally move furniture in the room for the door to.
It was just wickedness.
It was so foolishness.
It was just wickedness. Like you see, she's not well.
It's hard for her to get up. She just
because
got
you want the door closed. I mean, if she's not complaining about having the door open when she's talking to you about her personal problems, why are you being an asshole?
It was too much.
It was actually too much, for real. So, I mean, we have somebody like that, how the hell you gonna get down to any deep issues?
And not only that, now, the problem is you need her for her to sign an okay for you to have this surgery.
Nightmare.
And she may not, just because,
I was telling I would stay there,
That's why if you're having an issue with a counselor, or you don't like, because it's not everyone that you're going to gel with.
You had a horrible doctor, I remember.
Yes. You make sure you change the doctor early on, so that when you need something, they're not blocking your path.
Absolutely. But yeah, I remember Mom, she had a horrible doctor. One day she was talking to her on the phone. I just hung up the phone because I'm like, this woman is
I'm not going to talk to you like that.
Like, no, you're not going to talk to my mom anytime. I don't give a damn who you are. You going
and
to
even
go
though
change.
I was a nurse by profession, I'm used to advocating for others, but when it came to myself, I had kind of become like feeling insecure, feeling down, kind of blaming myself too for the situation where, and you just go through all that self blame, and all that. You feel low, and so I wasn't advocating for myself.
Yeah,
it was kind of like, well, I guess I don't know, maybe I do deserve this, or maybe she's having a bad day or whatever. But I was just making excuses.
Yeah.
And really, there's no excuses. If I had a patient, I will definitely be like, just like what Mary is doing. You don't get to talk to my patient like that,
Because the thing is, one, I'm paying you. Two, I am someone who's seeking your help and your advice.
Yeah.
And you're going to use your position of power to abuse me, disrespect me, and say all type of crazy stuff out your mouth. It ain't going to be happening on my watch. No, boo. No.
She was like,
I'll report you first.
She was like, who
I was like, who is that? Is that a friend?
Like,
Because I know you got friends like that.
This is Dr. So-and-so.
I was like, oh, okay, let me, hold on, wait, click. Who's this heifer?
She's like, oh, no.
Yeah, no.
She will not talk. I had her on speaker the whole time, so I'm sure she heard.
I was like, you got the wrong one.
Not at all. She will not talk to you like that. She grabbed the phone and hung. I was like, oh, well.
You come from my mama, I will definitely be coming for you, and I will not stop
and
until
after
you
that,
are not
thank
feeling
God,
well.
I got a new insurance, and my doctor that I had for almost a decade, I was able to go back to her because I had new insurance, and I was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
I get to come back, and I was telling her about this, and she was just like, that is just out of control.
Yeah.
So I was just happy, and I guess also I wasn't saying anything because I knew it was going to be a temporary thing.
Oh,
but
yeah.
still, you still want to advocate for yourself, and if you can't, have someone like Mary to advocate for you.
Yeah, for sure. So hopefully Tammy gets that fixed out and squared away and everything. But yeah,
Absolutely.
Tammy is pregnant. Well, Amy, she's pregnant again. She's
Amy
here
is
swallowing cheese. I mean,
No.
she's talking about how, I'm going to. This is the issue. And I know it's not easy. Like, we have women like Sierra. Who's that other woman who always looks good after she gives birth? It was Sierra. There's this other woman. I think she was on, was it Married at First Sight? She was with this guy named Bobby who took care of her and all this stuff,
Yeah.
My thing is, it's so important when you do get pregnant that you take care of your body even more. That's not the time to start
indulge
binging.
in sugars and stuff. It really isn't.
Because the recovery is so much harder.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Versus you
really
doing the
is.
work while you're actually pregnant, working out, eating well, and all that stuff. Like, if you have
eating
cravings,
healthy
that's fine.
and well.
Yeah. If
You
you're
can
having cravings, you can have some, but like, don't go on no binge.
No.
The fact that she took that can of cheese and just poured it in her mouth and then needed Dorito, I was like, what the hell is going on? The doctor just said you might not be here for your son.
I'm so happy that the doctor intervened when she did.
Yeah.
To say, no, you actually, these are the things that can happen to you: preeclampsia, high blood pressure. This can be a life or death issue.
Right.
And I think it actually came in her mind like, oh wow. Because I need to be here for this babies, my son, my husband.
You need to be having fruits. You have to be having fruit. And I know I'm not perfect because I have my little soda addiction. But you have got to really try your best, especially when you're pregnant. You have to be even more healthy than before.
Like the doctor told you already, you're already obese. Thank God. When I had my kids, I think I went as high as 220. But when I had my children, I only gained like 20 pounds with each child. I even think I gained less with my son. But I went totally off of, I usually love desserts. When I was pregnant with Mary, I went totally off of desserts. How about you all? I went totally off of desserts. All I craved was something sour, like just really healthy stuff, like salads, fruits and vegetables. That's all I craved. And then when I was pregnant with my son, all I craved was African food. That's all I crave.
Which is crazy because Rashid actually hates spicy foods. But he loves sweet stuff.
Oh, but I was eating those spicy foods. And usually I don't like hot food like that. But I was eating all the African foods and all that. But yeah, I didn't gain that much weight with either one of my so I can't even say, oh, pregnancy make me fat. No, that's not the reason. And then I lost those weights. Like by the time I finished breastfeeding, that weight was gone.
Yeah.
And I was back to, because when I started, I think I was like 200 pounds. So yeah, I was back to like my 200 pounds. But yeah, I'm happy that the doctor talked about it and kind of explained to other people, like, what are some of the things that can happen when you are overweight and you have a baby. And what you need to do. So I was happy about that. I love watching this show because you see it is also kind of inspiring. I look at Tammy, I'm like, well, okay, if she could get up from that wheelchair and walk, so can I, Yeah. So it's inspiring in a sense, but it's also a warning not to get there.
Whenever I watch that show, I always look at myself and I look at Mom and I always say, it could actually be worse. That's why I always say, like, sometimes when you are feeling so big or so overweight, you have to really tell yourself, it could actually be worse. I could be much bigger. I could be way more unhealthy. So let me at least appreciate where I am currently and let me work my way down.
Yes.
It could always be, I always say, I was like, you know what, I might have gained weight or whatever, but it could always be worse. Yeah. I've lost more weight now, so let me keep on that trajectory. You might be feeling like, oh my God, I'm so big.
Yeah.
But I mean, really, you probably aren't. I feel like as women, we're so hard on ourselves, like with our looks and everything. We really are. But we have to give ourselves grace.
Yeah. Because even look at Amanda and Misty when they went to the gym.
Yeah.
And they saw the smaller women exercising.
Yeah.
And they immediately thought like, oh, this is going to be a problem if they see me, And probably the women are not even thinking about you. They're trying to get their sweat on.
Yeah.
But I had those feelings too. But it's at least they still found what they could do, their own comfort zones.
Yeah.
And went ahead and got on like the treadmill.
Right.
And did that. And I liked what Amanda said when the guy came along and she was like, But then she says, I'm going to focus on myself. Because I have healing to do. That's like self-awareness, knowing that I can't be in any relationship right now.
Yeah.
I got to focus on myself.
Absolutely.
I got to love me.
Yeah.
Because I'm just getting out of a relationship, a long relationship too.
Yeah. Apparently she got divorced from her the father of her child. Yeah, children.
Which is Michael's brother.
Oh, I was
Amy's
shocked.
husband's brother, right?
Oh, wow. Quite interesting. But yeah, I think that was everything for this episode.
Yeah, I mean, I thought sometimes, though, they were kind of trolling Amy too much about her blue hair. I didn't like that. And I don't know what that was all about. I don't like, when family members tease each other like that. And then she's pregnant, I know we do our teasing, but, I just felt like she's vulnerable at this time. Now is not the time to tease her.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, you guys, it's Mary.
And Alma, but tell us what you think.
Yes, you guys. We invite you guys to like,
share,
subscribe,
and comment
down below. Bye.